Hey guys, welcome back to another episode of Talkies podcast. I am your host Artur, along with my co-host Nicholas.
Hi everyone.
So today we're gonna be reporting on the biggest news that happened in the past week, and we're gonna be doing an in-depth review of a movie that we just watched. Nick, and what's the movie?
It is War for the Planet of the Apes.
Exactly. But stay tuned towards the end of the podcast in order to get that. Okay. So first, we're gonna start with the news.
Are we going to start with the news?
We're gonna start with the news.
What do you mean? Yeah. Hey, stay to the end to talk so you can hear about that topic we just brought up.
Yeah, exactly. You leave them wanting more. Always wanting more.
Can this podcast be like a cliffhanger where like we'll say, all right, and now time for our review of, and then it goes boom, to be continued, and then it's like that Vine noise. I like.
Oh God, I would hate to watch something like that.
I hate Vine. Is it possible to do a cliffhanger on a podcast?
Maybe someone just has to get really emotionally involved into it.
And the movie was so... And then it just cuts.
cuts.
And that's it.
All right.
Whatever. Go into the news for the week.
So the first thing we're going to be talking about is Stranger Things Season 2. Nick, before we start with what the news is going to be about, what did you think of the first
I
season?
loved the first season. It's so good. Artur is losing it right now.
Because I waved my head on Nick's copy.
It's a rainbow Stranger Things. It's a very bleak world, that universe.
It's terrible. It's super scary, though. Like, okay, spoilers for Season 1, but if you haven't watched Season 1 and you want just like a good thriller kind of scary show,
Homage to the 80s.
Yeah, it's the best. I think it's up there.
It's probably my
Definitely
my favorite Netflix show from 2016.
It's my favorite Netflix show ever.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't know.
I know superheroes are
no,
close
it's
to your
just
heart.
Specifically Daredevil.
No, I know, but like
Because
I still think I like. Thing is, I love that time period, and to see it being done in such a I don't know, such a lovable rendition. It makes me just like the film. I like the way it's shot too.
It is beautifully shot. You know who created this show?
What?
Well, co-created the guy who did Night at the Museum.
Go fucking figure.
Sean Levy.
Wow. All right, so Nick, tell us a little bit about Season 2.
So we got a teaser for this week. We're going back to Hawkins, man.
Okay.
Season 2, set a year after Season 1, 1984. What we do know, the Demogorgon's gone. Mm-hmm. But there's this other monster that's coming. And
is it bigger?
I don't know.
From the trailer, he looks like he's huge.
It's terrifying.
Jesus.
Like, it is... I don't even know how many legs it has, but it just makes the Demogorgon look like its little bitch.
I have a question.
I have an answer. Daily Double.
I have a question. Like, for Season 1, we had the Demogorgon, which is very, like, smaller-esque creature compared to this huge creature we're going to get. So my question is this going to be more of, like, a Cloverfield horror thriller type of idea? Because the first one was very much thriller-esque, where like there's a demon and it was like very like Exorcist-like. Mm-hmm. And this is it gonna be like more monster movie horror area?
That would be cool. Actually.
Exactly.
I kind of want that. Yeah. Just regardless, that just sounds cool. I think I'm gonna guess we're going back to the Upside Down because
yes, we
11
have to.
Spoilers. 11 left at the end of Season 1. She obviously, I'm going to guess, took the Demogorgon back to the Upside Down. We do know she's coming back for Season 2 with hair.
Yeah.
And I believe that however they get her back, that's how the monster's going to show up.
Okay.
Somehow, because in the last season, the way that monster showed up is...
The experiments on
her and her accessing the Upside Down.
Okay.
So I'm going to guess that Mike somehow, like the kids, they somehow access the Upside Down again. She comes back. She's not thrilled, right? She's like, what the hell are you doing, Mike? Shouldn't have done that. Boom. Cloverfield monster.
That actually kind of works because from what I heard, and this from you that told me, was that Will plays a big part in this.
It's a centric season.
The thing
That's
is,
what the creators said.
For also spoilers for the ending of the show, but Will kind of for a second goes to the Upside Down.
Oh, yeah, he coughed up that slug.
And then comes back and then coughs up the slug.
Oh, yeah.
So like what's his part to play in this? How does that affect anything?
Do you think the government will come back for him?
I think so. They have to. There's no way they would just allow a kid that was gone for that amount of time. It was through scientific research, and then just be like, okay, he's okay. We're not gonna deal with it.
Hey, what we also know is that
they're in Ghostbusters outfits.
Oh, they are in Ghostbusters.
It's so cool because it's an '84. Oh, yeah. It's the smartest idea.
I told you, it's a homage. It's like Stephen King, Spielberg, everything's paying tribute to them.
Yeah, fantastic. I love it.
Fantastic, eh?
Anything else about Season 2 that got reported on?
Oh, okay. What else I was gonna say is, so Hopper
Okay.
At the end of season 1, do you remember how he sort of like turned on everyone?
Yeah.
First off, dick move by Hopper.
Yeah, what a bitch.
Right? But was he turning on them?
We don't know.
What we do know is he got in the car at the end of the season. He leaves.
Doesn't he drop off Egos?
Before that.
Oh.
Before he drops off Egos,
Yeah.
he gets in a government car. I'm doing the quotations. You can't see me. It's a podcast, whatever. And in this season, he's still trying to cover up what happened. So
really?
somehow he's he's involved in the cover up. Like there's a higher power out there who doesn't want anyone to know about what happened in Hawkins, and they've now commissioned Hopper to cover it all up, which I find it strange because Hopper was the one who uncovered it all.
Stranger Things.
Wow. Okay. Okay.
Anything else?
I'm just very excited to see them in Ghostbusters uniforms.
Honestly, so am I. That's probably I already love the series.
Yeah.
But the fact that they're in Ghostbusters outfits and there's one black guy and everyone else is white just makes me think of the Ghostbusters.
Who are you gonna call? 11.
Jesus. All right.
Mic drops.
Speaking of number 2s,
How does that have to do with
our second topic
What?
at number 2
No.
and Wonder Woman 2. Lots of 2s.
But I said 11.
Yeah, but then I said speaking of 2s like season 2.
Oh.
Good. We're gonna talk about
Very good.
the Wonder Woman new setting that's gonna take place.
Hey, hold on. We should preface that this is completely a rumor right now.
Yeah.
It was reported. We reported it on Talkies Network. It was originally reported by Humberto Gonzalez from The Wrap. Now, the thing with Mr. Gonzalez over there is he is, most of the time, sorry, buddy, you seem like a really nice guy, but most of the stuff you say is wrong. Like he was one of those guys that said, "Oh, is Ben Affleck leaving Batman?"
No.
Ben Affleck's not leaving Batman, but we'll get to that. Whatever.
Well, yeah.
So-
That's that. Sneak peek.
Stay tuned.
Stay tuned.
So he reported that Wonder Woman 2 setting is actually going to be in the Cold War.
Yeah.
And it's going to be sort of a spy, kind of like a spy caper film.
Yeah.
Now, 2 things. First, again, potential spoilers. I don't really know how it is. It might be... Okay, if you haven't seen Wonder Woman, then this is a spoiler.
Yes.
Spoilers. Chris Pine, who died in the first film, will return in this film.
Now, I don't know. Okay, I always have a really bad feeling when it comes to superhero movies killing someone off just to bring them back.
Marvel.
Yeah, it feels like there's no stakes. And I thought Wonder
X-Men.
Woman was going to be like the first one to have stakes. Maybe like...
Like when they killed off Yondu in Guardians 2.
Exactly.
You know,
Or-
James Gunn has said Yondu's gone. Like, he's never
Thank
coming
God.
back.
Thank God.
Bro, I like Yondu.
So do I, but the fact that he dies makes it for a nice conclusion to their story.
Why didn't they kill Star-Lord?
Well, you can't. He's the
I like
star.
Star-Lord.
So apparently it's going to be Diana fighting with the U.S. against the Soviet Union in the 1980. Now, if you don't know anything about the Cold War, there's a lot of things that happen in it. Biggest things that happened: Cuban Missile Crisis, the Korean War,
Vietnam War, Berlin Wall.
There's a lot of stuff that happens. Now, what I'm intrigued is, will Wonder Woman be in Vietnam? Because that was a big tragedy to the U.S.
That would actually be cool.
Is she one of the people that goes into special ops and goes to the Cuban Missile Crisis to stop missiles coming over from Soviet Union into Cuba? There's a lot that could happen. They have a big range of events that they can cover.
Do you think it's going to be like Forrest Gump, where they just kind of insert him into like every single big moment?
It could be that they could very well do that. They could put her in every single major event.
Remember when he inspired John Lennon to write Imagine?
Yeah.
It's like imagine, just imagine. John. It's like, a world with no religion? What are you talking about? And he's like, oh, you can imagine.
So,
hold on.
Okay.
Because I know that this criticism will pop into your head when I say it.
Okay.
Do you remember how people were saying, oh, is Wonder Woman kind of similar to Captain America, the First Avenger?
Oh, 100%.
Personally, I know it has its similarities. I don't like the First Avenger.
Oh, I hate it.
I hate it. But
it makes
yes,
no sense.
But it does have the similarities.
Yes.
Here's one issue I saw someone bring up.
Okay.
Captain America, the Winter Soldier
God damn it.
is a spy thriller.
God damn it.
See, Artur, the entire DCEU just fell apart for him again.
And I liked Wonder Woman.
No, so what? No, okay, so remember.
I still like Wonder Woman.
Now remember, this is a rumor.
Yeah.
So technically, okay, that was the other thing. Patty Jenkins is in talks to return, and she's writing the script with
let her
Jeff
come
Johns.
back. Because I feel, okay, everyone did a fantastic job acting. The action was great. But if it wasn't for Patty Jenkins in that director's chair,
Yeah, I don't know.
that movie I don't think could have worked, because there's certain scenes where the script actually is not that smart. Like Wonder Woman kind of almost hits on the line of stupidity, but then Patty Jenkinson's the way she shoots things, the way she asked to redo the scene, makes Wonder Woman just seem like just blissful, like she just doesn't know, but she's looking to learn.
You know there was no deleted scenes for this film?
Fantastic. Why there should be?
Can you believe that?
That means everything they shot was important.
Right.
Unlike Jared Leto and Suicide Squad.
All right, you want to throw low blows there? I mean, look, what you'll come to learn and what we'll eventually do is like a DCEU debate.
Yeah.
Because
I hate almost all of it.
Of the three members, I love the DCEU. Artur absolutely hates the DCEU, and I would say
JJ's half.
JJ's half. JJ's the middle.
Because he likes Man of Steel and he likes Wonder Woman, but he doesn't like Batman vs Superman, and he's okay with Suicide Squad.
Yeah.
I hate all of them except for Wonder Woman.
Well, Man of Steel's the definitive Superman.
Well, of course not. All right.
Look, it's just here's the thing.
Okay.
I just want Patty Jenkins back. I want Gal Gadot back.
Mm-hmm.
Real quick, villains in the film. What are you hoping to see?
Apparently, this is a rumor once again, but apparently, Ares is supposed to return in some way.
Okay, here's the thing with Ares. What I did like about him is he didn't cause the war.
Yes.
Because that was an actual, like...
He looked like shit.
Oh, yeah, but it was an actual moment of conflict for Diana. Like,
yes.
Her realizing, like, holy shit, the God of War didn't do this. He just kind of said, oh, I just pulp in ideas.
Because the whole point is that she always thought humans were blissful.
Right.
They could do no wrong. And she finally realized, no, humans are actually the reason why there's wrongness.
Sorry, that's the other thing. Ares is gone now. Is World War II happening? Is the Vietnam War happening? Is the Korea War happening?
That's my biggest thing. Does she just gloss over World War II?
What's history going to change? What history is going to change now that Wonder Woman... Because we know that in BVS, she abandoned humanity at some point.
Yes.
She obviously didn't do it in Wonder Woman. She found, like, the goodness.
It could be the failure of Vietnam caused her to lose hope.
Because
Vietnam was a fucking failure.
Did BVS say how long she had been gone for, or just that
she been gone.
She was gone,
yes.
Right? Yeah, okay. But we know that her suit in BVS is quite destroyed. Like, it is, compared to the one in Wonder Woman, which looks like...
sleek and, like,
new. Really colorful.
Yeah.
See... I know Zack Snyder. Yeah, I know your criticism of Zack Snyder, but think about it. It works. The suit in BVS is worn.
But he wasn't thinking that far ahead.
Yes, he was. He is the architect of the DCEU.
That is disgusting to say.
I love BVS.
He should never be an architect of anything.
Whatever. Move on to the next topic.
I like 300.
Look, hold on. Sorry. I like 300 too.
I know.
Villains for the film. I want Cheetah. I think
that could work.
It's the second film.
Why
kind of
not?
like what Nolan did with The Dark Knight, save the big villain for the sequel.
Like their biggest rival.
I would say Cheetah's her biggest
like for
rival.
I can't remember the name.
Cheetah and Ares.
This is why we need JJ here. I don't remember the name of a villain. It was a family. It was an Amazonian woman.
I know the one you're talking about, but I can't remember it.
I don't know, but like she was also an interesting villain you could have. There's a lot of people you can literally pick someone out of the Batman universe and make it a villain. It doesn't matter.
So the last rumor that came out is they are looking for a female villain, and they want like a powerhouse actress to play her, like Charlize Theron.
Oh, I knew
right.
The moment you said powerhouse female, I'm like
Charlize Theron.
Yeah.
Like, can you imagine Furiosa going up against Wonder Woman?
Jesus.
Right.
Okay, talking about another sequel now, but.
Your transitions are just—it's
all about
so on point.
If you see my notes, there's just arrows pointing from the 2 to the 2 to the 2
to the 2 to the 2 to the 2.
So okay, so now this is
actually like I wouldn't. Would you call it breaking?
It might be breaking news.
It came out. This news came out
at the time of this recording.
Yeah, at the time of this recording.
Yes.
Yes.
Where apparently Incredibles 2 will be set immediately after the first movie. Now, Nick,
I expected that.
Before you say anything, The Incredibles is like my favorite movie of all time. It's the best shit they've ever done.
It is. Okay, listen. It is the best Pixar movie, and whoever doesn't think that has the right to their own opinion, actually.
It's my favorite movie.
It's my favorite Pixar movie.
When it comes to Incredibles 2, I will be incredibly critical of that movie. No matter how fun it is, like Finding Dory was fun, it was whimsical, but
it wasn't Finding Nemo.
No, I have big problems because I love Finding Nemo. Now, Incredibles 2, I think this is the right call. From my perspective.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
Because...
this is coming from, like, the head of Pixar.
Yeah.
This is John Lasseter talking to IGN. We'll link it below.
Yeah.
He was talking at, I'm fairly certain, D23, because it's Disney's festival this past weekend. And he goes, it's taking place right after the end of the first film, so when they put on their masks. and it's
They're
gonna
about to fight the mole people.
the Underminer.
Yeah, there
and
you
it's
go.
gonna be a big action set piece, and I love that.
And that's how they're gonna start the movie. I think it's smart. Get the audience right away.
What do you think this movie's gonna be about? There are no details. All we know is that the cast is
I
back.
like that.
Brad Bird is back, and Michael Giacchino's back composing it.
Wait. Is the one person that I need to be back in this?
Samuel Jackson's
Yeah.
back. Yeah, he's back. Yeah,
Hell yeah.
He was the first that they brought back. I'm fairly certain.
Well, because that whole entire sequence blew up in the internet. Woman, where is my super suit? I'm the greatest good you're ever gonna get.
Like, the whole movie's great.
It's
but, like,
fantastic.
that one scene.
It's such a throwaway scene, but it's so beautifully executed that you're like, yes.
I'll always wonder why Pixar decided to go with a Cars franchise first. Like, okay, think about it this way. Okay, Toy Story is probably their most popular franchise,
Yes.
I would say.
Yes.
So I understand, but then again, even so Toy Story comes out in 95. Toy Story 2 comes out in 99. 2010 is when Toy Story 3 comes out.
And in that time, they produced like Brave, Cars 2.
Didn't like Brave. No, they didn't. No.
Cars 2 was after?
Cars 2 was a year after. That was the other thing. Okay, so I
Wow.
would call, let's say, 1995 to 2010 like a renaissance for Pixar. Because after that, they came out with The Good Dinosaur, Brave. I don't mind Brave, but it's not up there. They came out with, I can't believe I'm saying this, Cars 2. They thought that it was a good idea to come out. Okay, I am so sorry, Mom. Fuck Mater. Okay? Like, I can't do Mater. Okay,
it's terrible.
Like, he is such a, like, that's not even Larry the Cable Guy is a character.
Yeah,
you know that.
It's not even his voice.
It's not his voice.
It's the
It's
actor.
an animated version of him.
It's the actor doing a bit where he was Larry the Cable Guy for a stand-up comedy, and then the director's like, "That's so good. Let's get him in this."
And I think the original Cars, I find the original Cars to be an enjoyable film.
Passable.
It's passable. I like it.
Yeah.
They used him a decent amount, wasn't like overbearing. He was just kind of that
But
guy that
kids liked Mater.
kids like. I think this is all about toys. That was why they came out with Cars 2 and Cars 3.
Yeah.
And okay, I don't recommend Cars 3. It's a throwaway film. Go see it if you want to turn your brain off. But now we finally, Incredibles 2, it's here. Brad Bird is back, which is actually all I needed.
The thing
honestly.
is, I know some people were concerned. I read some of it on Twitter that people were concerned because he directed Tomorrowland.
Okay, Tomorrowland, I find, first off, visually beautiful.
Exactly.
However, yes, the script isn't that great. I find it, like, it's passable. Again, it's kind of, for me, it's like Cars.
But
it's
then
Cars.
again,
it's like,
he did Mission Protocol.
he did do the fourth Mission Impossible.
Yeah. So, like,
wait, and he also did the most underrated Pixar movie of all time,
which one?
Ratatouille.
He did it.
He did Ratatouille.
You know what? This thing, people are concerned because of that one movie, but like, look at his entire catalog.
Yeah, it's one film. It's kind of like J.J. Abrams gets hired for Star Wars Force Awakens. Oh God, it's gonna be Into Darkness,
Yeah.
and it's gonna be lens flares. Force Awakens comes out, one lens flare. And it's like, okay, look, all I needed first off is Brad Bird back. I'm glad John Lasseter brought him back. Mm-hmm. The way I like how Pixar works for the most part. They won't do a film unless they have a really good story. Minus the entire Cars franchise. But
Thor's okay. Before we just get before you just finish your thought, don't watch Cars 3.
yeah,
Cars 3. If you guys don't watch Cars 3, it shows Pixar's that we're not looking for movies that just capitalize on their name
and toy
values. Like, the reason why people like Pixar is because they're one of the best storytellers of modern. I think they might be the best storytelling company in modern.
But is it Studio Ghibli?
Okay, no, Studio Ghibli is better.
What happened to Ghibli July, buddy?
Shit!
You're forgetting to upload your reviews.
Damn it! Okay, whatever. Let's continue on. But with Incredibles 2, do you think this is a smart way to pick it up right after the first one? Or should we have a time skip?
Look, the fact that they've waited this long to do it increases my faith in this film. Like, okay, Toy Story, they're making a fourth Toy Story, which John Lasseter, again, is personally directing. Jesus. Lasseter has said, I will never make another Toy Story film until I have a good script. So then he got together with Andrew Stanton, who directed Finding Nemo, and Lee Unkrich, who wrote the original one.
Okay.
And the story just popped in. They all got together, figured out the story, sent the story off to Rashida Jones from Parks and Rec.
Oh my God!
And her writing partner Will McCormick.
Yeah.
And now they're doing Toy Story 4. The thing is that
Fantastic
look,
stuff.
I trust John Lasseter. That was some water in your house.
Don't worry.
The fact that they've waited this long means that they've put time into this. They've thought it out. They are confident that this film.
Are you talking about Toy Story 4 or Incredibles 2?
Both, actually.
Okay. Just clarifying.
Both. I mean, I trust. There hasn't been like a bad Toy Story film. They've just consistently gotten better.
Yeah.
And Incredibles, I have no doubt. I don't think it's going to be fine. I don't think it's going to be Finding Dory because while I like the Dory character, honestly, I
can do with less of her.
I could. Sorry, Ellen. I really like you.
Yeah.
I like. Okay, what Finding Dory? I like the same. I like the side characters the most in that film.
And I don't want a movie about the side characters. The reason why
Right.
they're good is because they're a side character.
Like those seals. It's
Yeah.
Idris Elba and Dominic West.
Jesus, but never make a movie about them. Leave them the way they are. That's the reason why we like them, is because they were that way. I never thought about Dory. Why does she have amnesia? Where are her parents? I never thought about that. And then they go and make an entire
But see,
movie.
that's what Andrew Stan said. He goes, "We took one throwaway line in Finding Nemo where Dory says, I was hanging out with my family. I wonder where they are." That's it. And then that's all they say about Finding Dory, about Dory's family in the first film. And, even Ellen was like, I've been campaigning for a sequel. I'm like, just give us an incredible sequel. I'm like, that's it.
But now we're getting it. It's happening. I think it's getting onto the right foot, and I think it's being really well developed. And I like the fact that I don't know anything about the story, and I hope none of the trailers ruin that in the coming months.
It's not like Spider-Man Homecoming where just, if you're nothing without the suit,
Yeah.
then you can't have it. And you're like, well, he
you
loses
lose
the
the
suit.
suit.
Well, that's good.
Well, so, okay, continuing on now to our fourth topic.
Back to the DCEU.
Back to the DCEU. Wow. I can't speak today. The Justice League villain
Syrian Hines.
is supposedly all CGI. Now,
You want to just rant for the next 2 minutes? Should I just sit back?
yes.
Okay, here. You know what? I'll check back in a sec.
Okay, so first off, I don't have a problem with CGI character if it's done right. For example, if they use motion cap in like War of the Planet of the Apes style, fantastic. But the fact that they have to make a really empowering character and have him have huge muscles and throw a lot of shit at the actors, it just doesn't look believable. I feel nothing to the characters when they're getting attacked on by a computer graphics screen.
I really hope it doesn't look like Doomsday.
There is problem.
That's all.
The problem.
Listen, Joss Whedon, you're there. Do not make it look like Doomsday.
The biggest problem with a CGI character is that there is literally no weight to him. There's no weight to him tonally, narratively, or even actually physically, because it's all a computer.
Artur's gonna sound hypocritical in a few seconds when he talks about War for the Planet of the Apes, but we'll get to that.
No, but that is a masterclass.
Okay, see, so I don't understand.
It can be done.
Listen,
It can be
Joss
done.
Whedon, hire Weta Digital. That's the company that did the special effects.
Special effects can be done well. We've seen it from Jurassic Park way back in the 90s.
Greatest movie of all time.
Debatable.
Greatest movie of all time.
To now, literally to today with War of the Planet of the Apes.
I don't understand how some films still have bad CGI, because when you have films like Jurassic Park,
Jesus.
like Avatar, like the Planet of the Apes rebooted series, it is flabbergasting to me.
It can be done, and
Like
I wonder why people don't do it.
You know who did it really well? I thought Ultron was done very well.
No, all of Marvel's CGI has been good for the most part.
Yeah, I thought it's been okay.
The only bad CGI that I can point out in recent time is Batman vs Superman, and it sucks that this is a sequel to it.
No, there's worse. You want to hear worse?
No, I know there's worse.
Suicide Squad.
Oh god, the who? Oh,
That was just bad.
Jesus!
Look,
It's the worst movie in that entire thing. I'm sorry.
No, it is.
Batman vs Superman is not worse than Suicide Squad.
Okay, so here's what Syrian Hines says. He said to the Michael Bacall show, or the Michael Ball show on BBC. He said, "I didn't even have a costume when I was doing it. It's all done in motion capture. They stick a helmet on your head and they put 2 cameras around you and they capture all your expressions. So basically, like they got there was another rumor that came out that he didn't even act with the cast.
That's okay.
No, but that's unconfirmed, and I don't believe that at all. Like,
But
there's no way.
but they do that.
They've done it before. I know.
Like they will actively have 2 actors in the same movie, and then they'll never shoot a scene together. For example, I'm gonna point 2 examples. A good example is Wrath of Khan. The Khan and Captain Kirk never one shot one scene together. In the movie's fantastic, and they just literally
Didn't they shoot the end.
No,
Khan!
no,
Oh!
never once.
Oh, that's right.
In the movie's fantastic. Now, second one, Fate of the Furious.
Wow,
Vin Diesel
hate
and
that
Dane
film.
Johnson are not in any scenes together.
Do you ever notice that whenever they are, it's just they're on opposite sides of the
Yes,
room?
someone's turned around to the back.
It is just so clear that they hated each other in that film. Then again, I really didn't like Fate of the Furious.
Okay, so I don't.
I hate that film.
If a CGI character is done well, then by all means do it. If it's going to be done poorly and you guys are not,
Look, who knows? It
could be good.
It could be done well.
Exactly.
I trust.
just based on track record, it won't be.
No, but remember, okay, look.
But being optimistic,
Remember,
it will.
Snyder did step down.
Yeah.
He had a family tragedy, but he's not involved. So they brought in Joss Whedon, given his track record on the Avengers, which
Very good.
which I thought had beautiful visual
Because
effects.
it took place in the daylight and everything had to actually be done properly.
Bro, you just like it doesn't matter whether it takes place at the night or the day.
It does, because when you have an action take place in the night, you don't have to iron out small little mistakes, because literally the cover of night shades it away. So if you have a character like Hades in Wonder Woman, whose armor Ares, sorry, not Hades. It might be Hades the next villain. Who knows?
That would be cool.
Having his
Ooh,
armor,
we're going up against the Greek gods. I'm sorry, that's just cool.
I know, God of War,
Like,
Wonder
all
Woman.
of them.
Having a dark armor and then having a black
that,
background.
Yeah, no, that I find like stupid. Like when you saw like the end of Days of Future Past, where it's cutting in between the present and the past. Like the Sentinels, they were dark, but they were lit up.
Yes,
because they had the lighting on their bodies, and then they were constantly changing their powers. So that's I would say that's a night scene done well.
X-Men,
like original X-Men.
No, just Days of Future Past. If they can get like CGI from that, that's good. That's good. Sentinel wise,
look, it's possible. It just they set the bar low.
Really?
Like,
so technically, they can only go higher.
Technically, yeah, they can only go.
So
higher.
you know what? Let's think about that. The bar is set low. They can only go higher.
Because what I do know about Justice League, like I know you're not. I know you're not excited for it. I know JJ's not excited.
Well, the
for
thing
it.
is, also Cyborg looks like garbage.
It's an unfinished film.
Well, I really hope so.
I hate you. You're fired. Whatever. Cut the podcast.
All right. Well, do you want to just jump into the next topic, since it's also
we'll cut it. Do one more.
It's also DC related.
Yeah. Let's go into that.
Okay.
I'll bring it up.
Please.
So,
Nick.
Matt Reeves had. Am I getting a phone call? Am I seriously getting a phone call right now?
Not anymore.
Not anymore. All right. I'll cut that out.
Continue on.
So, Matt Reeves, in an interview with the Happy Sad podcast on MTV, has so obviously, he's there to promote War for the Planet of the Apes, but again, they asked him about Batman, and Josh Horowitz asked him, "Are you still going to be using Ben Affleck and Jeff Johns' script, which was the one they were going with?" And he said, "No, a whole new story. We're writing it now. I'm really excited about it." How do you feel about that?
I'm
all for it, honestly.
Watching also War of the Planet of the Apes,
Which we'll get to.
We'll
soon.
get to. Matt Reeves
is a gifted writer.
He knows how to write, and he knows how to write a complex character. I'm not saying Ben Affleck would not know how to write a complex character, but let me just
hold on. I liked his writing in The Town
and Argo. It was good, but
I see what you're saying.
I feel like Matt Reeves can bring, like I said in the previous podcast, one thing that I haven't gone from Batman. I've never seen the duality of Batman, and I believe Matt Reeves can do that because he did it with Caesar. Has Ben Affleck done it like a story like that? No. Can he? Absolutely. But I usually like when the director is also the writer.
Honestly, I do too.
I do.
Yeah.
It feels like there's unison between what's happening in the writer's room and what's happening actually in the camera.
First off, I'm glad Affleck stepped down. I'm glad that
because he's focusing on the character.
Because
now apparently also, is he writing the new script?
Affleck?
Yeah.
No.
Wow.
Oh, no, actually that's unconfirmed. Sorry. You're
Wow.
right. They don't we just know that they're not using the original script, which was actually rewritten by Chris Terrio.
Yeah.
And so
will Ben Affleck be involved in the next script? We don't know.
Can you imagine a script written by Ben Affleck and Matt Reeves? Can you?
Please do that.
Please.
They're fantastic writers. And I think they can make a fantastic movie together.
Oh, I know.
Jesus.
I have all the faith in the world in the Batman.
So do I.
So here's the other thing that came out of this weekend.
Better than Dark Knight, though.
Yeah.
Actually,
what do you think?
Wait. I would like
before I bring up the rest of the news.
Let me
what do you think?
let me take away that quote, because I don't like comparing movies that much. And I feel like this movie should be its own thing.
Don't you lie to me.
No, I don't like comparing movies
compare
when they're
everything.
all good. I like comparing a shitty movie to a good movie.
You compare everything.
Well, maybe. But the thing is, let's wait until the movie comes out and then we'll talk about that. Joker's not in this, so there's no reason to compare it to Heath Ledger.
Unconfirmed.
Well, you know what?
So that's what I was going to bring up. So in the original script, Joe Manganiello was confirmed to be playing Deathstroke, the main antagonist. There was another rumor that came out that Affleck wanted a villain-heavy film, which also put the rumors, like I said in the last podcast, on Will Smith, Margot Robbie, and Jared Leto, and potentially Killer Croc.
Please don't.
In a separate interview, Matt Reeves also said a villain-heavy film could be something he would do, which brings us back to the last podcast where we said, why don't they just do Arkham Asylum?
Yeah, like it'd be so smart to do it. Okay, now keep in mind, with all of these news that we covered, people always change their mind. It could be one thing one day and thing on another. So, for example, them writing a new script, they could just essentially just go back to the old script. That could happen.
First off, it shouldn't be alarming. Matt Reeves has said in countless interviews where they don't shut up about asking him about Batman. Seriously, just talk to the guy about the Apes movie he's filmed.
Jesus, it's so good.
It is so good. He has said he has his own vision for the movie. He wants a noir-driven detective-style film, which, like we said in the last one, we are all for.
Yeah.
But he has his own mindset for this film, and Affleck wouldn't have brought him in because Affleck had a role in picking him for the director.
Yeah.
When he stepped down, he said, "I'll help. We'll find a new director," and they brought in Reeves.
And why wouldn't he pick someone that he think could do just as good a job?
Right.
As
So
he
if
could?
he didn't
Or
believe,
if not better,
exactly. If he didn't believe in Reeves' vision, then yeah, I'd be alarmed for this new script that they're writing. But I'm all for it because
So
I want Reeves to tell the story he wants to tell.
All right. With that thought, with all of that out of the way, let's get now into
It's time.
to the topic in hand. We'll put an annotation that can link you to this section of the video, just in case you want to hear about the news. You just want to hear about the review, because it might be a pretty lengthy review.
That's true.
Depending how we go on.
Yeah.
So let's talk about War for the Planet of the Apes, directed by Matt Reeves, starring Andy Serkis,
Written by Matt Reeves and Matt Baumbach.
and starring Andy Serkis,
Woody Harrelson,
and other people that, not gonna lie, I care about, but they're the biggest too.
But we don't know them.
No, I'm not gonna remember them now either.
I don't know.
So
Judy Greer's in the film.
yeah.
So is Toby Kebbell. We'll get to that.
Well, okay, we'll get to that.
Okay, remember.
First of all,
spoilers.
Yeah.
From this point on.
Yeah.
This isn't going to be a spoiler-free review. We will have a spoiler. We have a spoiler-free review up on our website. I'll link that below.
Yeah. But this is very spoiler heavy.
That was spoiler-free. This is full in depth. We're talking everything. Artur, just how good was this film?
This movie was, I believe, I will say it's the best Apes movie.
I do believe it's the best.
Except for the original.
I put it above the original.
No, not Rise.
No, oh, you mean Rise?
No. I mean like.
No, I mean the 1968. I put it above the 1968.
No, that one's still better.
For me, look.
The twist of that movie gets on you in every single level.
For me, as of right now, it's War, 1968, Dawn.
Rise and Dawn really keep switching for me. I don't know why.
Rise I put at 4.
Because I care more about Drink Strangles than I do about the bearded guy.
Jason Clarke?
Yeah.
You know what? I'm going to get to him because I actually have a thing to say about him. Okay, so for this film, Andy Serkis, it's 2 years into the war that was teased at the end of Dawn.
That was caused by Koba.
So Caesar kills Koba, but Koba inadvertently causes this war between the apes and the humans.
Yeah, because that village calls a military group to come back. Also, I would like to point out just Matt Reeves' genius way of doing this. You don't have to watch the previous two movies to understand this one.
You don't. Oh, okay. You know what? The opening 2 minutes,
just
where it's just a little bit of writing.
It's a little bit of writing, and they
bold the three words.
Yeah, Rise, Dawn, and then War, and then it goes into War for the Planet of the Apes.
Just wow.
And it starts with a set piece, which there aren't too many of this in this movie.
So
that's the two thing. That they are fantastic.
So this film is called War for the Planet of the Apes, but this isn't a war film in the sense that it's an action film. I would say it's a war film in terms of like
Caesar.
First off, yes, Caesar's internal conflict.
He fights a lot of stuff about himself in this movie. He constantly being compared to Koba, which he hates.
This movie is a lot of mind games.
Yeah.
Between the Colonel and Caesar, the Colonel himself,
Yeah.
Caesar himself.
There's a lot of war going on. Not physical war, more mental and like bodily war than anything else. And the thing that I like a lot about this movie is that Caesar is fighting against every criticism he ever gotten throughout the entire movies. He's being criticized for being too intelligent, like in Rise. He's being criticized for being too sympathetic to humans and too overprotective in Dawn. And now he's being criticized for being like Koba because he wants revenge.
Okay, so the reason why Caesar wants revenge, remember spoilers.
Yeah.
So the big action set piece happens, truly fantastic.
God, just the way it's shot is beautiful.
Caesar's son returns from a journey. He says, "Dad, we found a sanctuary, where we can take all the apes and live happy. It's in the desert. We have to go there, very soon."
Yeah.
What ends up happening is after all the apes go to sleep, the colonel and his men show up at at Caesar's hideout, and he ends up killing his son or his eldest son,
thinking it was Caesar.
He kills his eldest son. He kills his wife. And that just puts Caesar in a tailspin.
And
hold on, sorry. Him looking for his son was heartbreaking. He does find his son.
Yeah.
He does.
Because he has another son.
Yeah, he has a younger
Cornelius?
son. Cornelius. Well, you know what? We're going to get to that name in a sec.
Yeah.
But him just thinking that his son is dead. This is an ape, and I cared about this ape more than 99% of every other character in cinemas this year, minus Logan. Logan's still the best one of the year.
The thing, okay, before I even get into the acting, give Andy Serkis an Oscar.
You have to.
This man is a genius at acting. He conveys emotions with nothing but like a rubberized suit.
So we're gonna
and
add,
like little things.
We're gonna add War for the Planet of the Apes to the list of films the Academy will overlook this year.
Oh hell yeah!
Oh yeah.
It definitely will be. If for some reason...
What do you think? Logan, Baby Driver, War for the Planet of the Apes, Get Out. I'm gonna throw those 4 films on the list that the Academy will just not pay attention to, but they should.
Yeah, no, there's
in any capacity, by the way. Yeah, because War is gonna get best visual effects, which they should.
Dawn didn't, but despite the fact that they should have.
They should have. But this film, okay, look, the visual effects in this film are incredible.
And it's weird because we keep saying that about every single Planet of the Apes movie. But the thing is...
Even Rise is really good.
That one fight in the Golden Gate Bridge, mwah,
wow, terrific.
Beautiful. Thing is, it feels weird that we keep saying, the visual effects are so good, blah, blah, blah. But, it honestly keeps getting better every movie that they make.
Yeah.
There's one scene where they have all the apes are all... a lot of... Something about this movie that's fantastic. We spend almost the entire movie with apes. Even when we're with the people, there's an ape involved.
But see, that's the arc of the entire trilogy. Shit. Think about it. Rupert Wyatt's Rise. It was mostly a human film before it switched to Caesar's Uprising.
Yes.
Dawn. 50-50. Jason Clarke and his family. Caesar and Koba.
Yes.
Now this
and
film,
Gary Oldman.
I liked Gary Oldman in that film.
Yeah, he's dope.
And now this film... It is 95% apes. Now you get Woody Harrelson's Colonel, who we'll get to because he's scary.
Yeah. Jesus.
But this film, every scene has an ape in it, and I loved it. You know what? I think Matt Reeves did that just so he could say, "Look what we can do with CGI now." Which is fine.
The thing is, you have to understand when you're putting that amount of apes into one scene, and you're first off the sheer quantity of that takes a lot of time and effort. So I like to applaud the studio that did the CGI.
Who did it?
Who?
Weta Digital.
Look at that. They can actually do good special effects. Thing is, I don't even know. I'm honestly, I run out of words when I talk about this movie's just CGI because what do you say? It's fantastic. It's magnificent.
It's breathtaking.
You have to watch it. You have to watch it.
You look at Caesar and what I really did, what I love about
they put him a little gray.
They put a little bit of gray.
Yeah, I know.
He's aging. He's old. He's tired. He just wants peace.
Yeah.
And he tried. He even says in the film, the colonel goes to him and he's like, "What, you're merciful?" He's like, "I showed you mercy. I let your men go. I tried to..." He's like, "The ape that caused this is dead.
I killed them.
The woods and let us be." And it's like, no. Because humanity... Okay, that's the other thing. I was not rooting for humanity in this film.
And none of these movies, I think anyone has ever
Screw humanity. They deserve to die. Whatever.
Literally. Because thing is...
In these films, you don't root for them.
And one thing that I loved about this movie, particularly with Caesar, is that in the other movies, Caesar's always seen as the protagonist. Now, I get he is the main character, but he's always seen as someone without too much flaw. His biggest flaw is being like too caring, too overprotective, wanting peace. Those aren't necessarily flaws. They just make a boring character, like like Superman. Like he's not a boring character. I'm just like those aspects can make a boring character, like people find boring in Superman. In this movie, he has big faults. He's turning into the thing he hates the most. He's fighting with revenge. He hates that. He wants to actively cause war, but end it at the same time.
I really love what this film did with Koba.
Yeah.
Okay, so Koba's back. Koba, he's not alive, but it's sort of like...
It's haunting him.
It's sort of like, remember The Dark Knight Rises where Batman sees Ra's al Ghul in like a vision? That's what this film does.
And it plagues Caesar.
It does. Koba is still haunting Caesar from the grave. What really messed me up was that scene where they have Caesar hung up, and it's Koba there, and he says, "Join me in death."
Jesus.
And then it cuts to the ape that the humans have giving Caesar a gun, and you're like, holy shit.
And let me just...
And they brought back Toby Kebbell, and I really love that because I find Toby Kebbell super underrated.
Just since we're going on the whole Caesar thing, one of the last things I like to say about him is that Caesar gets put through so much pain in this movie.
Okay, this
it
movie's
becomes
ruthless.
heart-wrenching.
Yeah, like it's bad.
His family dies. He loses his son. He has to abandon his son. He goes to fight a war. He fights with himself. He gets captured. He gets
loses
whipped
multiple times.
Yeah.
Like what ends up
when
happening,
he wins,
it's a loss.
But the thing is, like, the last moment in the movie where he gets his brief window of win, he cries and smiles because throughout this entire movie,
throughout this entire series,
he just been getting beat on, especially in this movie. He doesn't get fed, he doesn't get water, he gets whipped, he gets treated like a slave.
It was even so when he decides to send his apes off and goes with Maurice, Luca, and Rocket, his other apes. They're all how do I put this? So they all go to the Colonel's headquarters. They try and figure out a way in, but then Caesar gets captured.
Yes, he does.
Caesar gets captured, and he ends up getting brought to the Colonel's headquarters, and he sees all the apes there. All of the apes that he sent off got captured.
By the way,
and they all turn on him.
Yeah.
Until
he rises up.
Wow,
shit.
Because what ends up happening is so the Colonel's putting all these apes through slave labor, and one of the apes is getting whipped, and then all of a sudden Caesar's just like, leave him, and then the other apes are just like, shit, man, our leader's back.
Yeah,
here we go.
And okay, now something that I like about this movie, which is this is all on Matt Reeves. This is not on anyone but him. The way he wrote the story, every twist always made sense. It was never like a twist you're like, wait, what?
I really like the the simian flu is what caused humanity to die off. But now we know its other effects when you don't die off from it.
Yeah.
It causes you to lose your speech.
And people believe that becomes primitive, and the thing is...
Oh, that's the other thing. I'm so sorry. So the whole thing... This is what I really love about this film, by the way. So James Franco, the whole reason why he created this was to enhance humans, to solve disease, to cure Alzheimer's. And while it enhances apes, it regresses humans.
Yep. And the biggest part about that is that this movie touches on what actually means to be human. Woody Harrelson's character says it's about intellect, like it's about higher thinking. So reason and speech. Thing is, the apes can do both.
But the apes can only do that because the humans are regressing, because they both got the flu.
I'm not going to go into philosophy here. God knows I can spend an hour on the philosophy of War of the Planet of the Apes.
I think this movie was super philosophical.
And it is, and it's better for it.
Because it shows what would you do in the Colonel's or Caesar's place. Like, I get it. Yeah. I get where the Colonel's coming from. He's seeing... okay,
he's very Hitler-esque.
He's very Hitler-esque, okay? Yeah,
shaving his head, making everyone have bald heads.
Look,
very, very Nazism of him.
Unfortunately, I do see where he's coming from. Yep. He's doing it in a very ruthless and dictatorship way. Like, he sees his species dying. He sees humanity getting killed, and he wants to preserve his species. And I mean... He's the worst. He's probably my favorite villain of 2017.
Yeah.
However,
God, he's ruthless.
He's bad. Like he kills apes on a whim.
Yeah, just
done. Boom. But you see what he's fighting with. His whole story, which by the way, that entire scene with just him and
Caesar.
Caesar.
So another spoiler. I know we already said spoiler, but this is a very big spoiler. He ends up getting the virus, the
simian flu.
The simian flu.
No, see, wait. I'm gonna go back to you.
Okay.
Hold on to this thought.
Okay.
This is why what Artur is gonna say in a minute is gonna be fantastic.
Yeah.
The whole story for the Colonel is his son. His youngest son his only son got the flu.
And then he killed him.
And then he killed him because he started regressing and he started losing his speech and he couldn't live with that. And then
the girl we see
the girl character Nova.
Yeah. She actually gets this disease as well. And there's a moment where she goes to Caesar and she gives him water and food.
And her doll.
And the thing is, that doll has been with her throughout the entire time. She always sleeps with it. It never affects any of the apes because, well, they're the one that have this virus.
It enhances them.
Exactly. But then the Colonel picks it up, saying, like, what the hell is this? Who dropped this?
Yeah, but he keeps it near his face.
Exactly. And that could be because that's something that reminds him of his son. And he keeps it on him because we see it on him right when he gets, like, near his bed.
Right when you see that the Colonel now has this disease, because so what ends up happening is
and he holds a picture of his son and he's drinking.
So the Colonel tells Caesar that more is coming, that more humans are coming, but they're not really coming for the apes. They're coming for him and his battalion because of their ruthless ways.
Yeah.
And so when the rest of the human army shows up and the apes are escaping, everyone's like, "Whoa, where's the Colonel? Colonel, come on!" And Caesar goes to look for him, and he finds him on his bed, drunk, with no speech. He can't talk anymore.
I know some fucking prick is gonna say like, "No, he's drunk, can't speak because fuck off."
It's the flu.
It's the flu.
He got the flu, which, by the way, it was the sweetest comeuppance of the film. And then when Caesar he sees the Colonel,
he's about to kill him, and
he has the gun to his head, and the Colonel puts the gun to his head.
He wants to be killed. Caesar's like, no.
He's like, no,
you're doing this.
I'm not doing this. And then he kills himself.
And I like how they actually don't shoot. They actually don't show it. It's just like it cuts. It shows Caesar's back, and it shows like the big flash of a gunshot.
Is he still alive?
No,
oh
no, he's dead. He's
dead. He's so dead.
Then that place got blown up, which gets me to my criticism.
Wait.
Okay.
One more positive.
Okay.
Steve Zahn's Bad Ape. Really like that character. Yeah. Like every review has said for this film, he could have been super annoying, but they used the perfect amount.
Because this movie's depressing. You need someone lighthearted in it.
And it works, because even in like the hardest of points in the film, he will just have one offline where it's just like, do I go this way?
Yeah.
Oh, okay, I'll go that way.
And you're like,
okay, yeah, that's funny. Okay, cool. Now,
can I get to my criticism?
Get to your criticisms.
Okay, the biggest criticism I have is that it seems very everything got tied in a nice little neat knot. And like, I don't mind when all the stories close in a movie. I actually like that better. But the way they did this seemed just a little, not half-assed, but it's a conscious decision, and I don't think it works for the best. For example, Matt Reeves places the ending like camp, the military camp, on a like in the bottom of a mountain,
a winter mountain. Like okay, so it's winter and it's set it's set right at the bottom of a mountain.
Yeah. So the thing is, there's a point where Caesar throws a grenade at a gas tank, it explodes the entire base. And from that, an avalanche happens. Now, I don't have a problem with the avalanche. I have a problem with this line. Woody Harrelson's character says, "They're sending the men for me, not for you guys." And then Caesar says, "Is it all the men?" He said,
"Probably."
Yeah. So if we just take that literally, it means that all of the men in the army are coming for the apes, which means that avalanche wiped away all of the humans.
Like the rest of the humans that were in California.
Wow.
Yeah.
and then like that felt like a little bit not of a cop out, but it felt like, oh look, we have all these humans that I can propose a potential threat in sequels. Let's just get rid of them now.
Do you want a sequel?
The only sequel I can see is this revolving around his son, or maybe being Cornelius,
because Maurice is now in charge.
Yes, and the thing, well, that's implied.
Well, I guess they could do a whole like ape election. I mean,
well, they're intelligent now.
Ape
Why
election.
not? Ape election. We already had ape apocalypse now.
That was a cool reference.
Yeah, I like that.
Okay. So sorry. Before you get to your next criticism,
Yeah.
The small references this has.
There actually isn't. That was it. That was my only criticism.
I have another
The
one.
Coca-Cola?
No, well, okay, so there is one moment of product placement in this film, and I feel like it was just so perfectly used. Like Warner Brothers, Fox came to Matt Reeves and said, "Listen, bud, Coca-Cola kind of booked a little bit of sponsorship in this film," and he goes, "It's an apocalypse. Where are they going to pop up?" He's like, "I don't really know. Just include them somewhere." And he just has the apes walking by a Coke truck,
Like an abandoned
Coke truck, and that's it.
Well, they need money somehow.
Do you ever just wish that he would open up a Bud Light?
Ew, no, this is not Transformers. Not getting into that. But,
the references that they use in this film to past 8 films.
Very smart.
To the 1968 movie especially. Cornelius, one of the main characters there.
Yep.
In this film, Caesar's youngest son. Nova, mute character in the first film. Mute character in this film. And I also love how she gets her name.
It's such a
little moment,
like,
and it's a
who
nice
am I?
moment. Yeah, it's like, here, you're a Chevrolet Nova. And that's it.
And overall, Nick, out of 10, what do you give this movie?
I give it a 9.
I give it a solid 8.7.
That's a good rating.
You know why? It's a good movie. It's not flawless. There are some problems with it.
Oh, sorry. Caesar saying, I don't know.
Yeah, that's
every other scene.
It's a very big nitpicking. I think I almost counted around 7 to 8 times he says the word "I don't know."
I mean, I get it.
I get it. He doesn't know.
Yeah.
But he could just not respond. That could imply the same thing. Or he could just say something else.
Yeah.
Like,
but I mean, maybe he's honest.
He could say probably.
I don't know.
He could say, I think so.
Maybe.
Not I don't know 8 times.
But again,
I get it. Limited speech.
Such,
he has limited speech. We have to take that into consideration.
Which I also love. That's why I love this script so much. The apes have such limited speech. Even Caesar, who can speak fluent English,
but it feels sophisticated.
Right.
Yeah.
It's just
genius level of writing.
Genius level of writing. Genius level of filmmaking. Everything about this film. Really quick. Woody Harrelson's the Colonel. Ruthless. Disgusting. When he died, I loved it.
Yeah.
His performance in this film was stellar.
It was exactly what you needed from him. It was ruthless. This is not a driven Woody Harrelson character. It's like we didn't need to feel his development. All we know is that we know why he's doing this. He's given a purpose. He's given a motive.
You know what?
That's the same thing. And he's given an end.
The exposition in this film I also thought was done really well because it came from him. Because he made it sound like we screwed ourselves and now nature is punishing us.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to fix what James Franco did.
It's not one ape going, sign language and going, we did this because of this.
Yeah.
In the past, this happened. Come on, why are you doing this? You know what happened last time. This happened last time.
Yeah, exactly.
Whatever.
I also like how Maurice spoke for the first time.
Yep.
Because he's been the one consistent character to not speak. And in this
film... Because he knows he has to take it up.
Right. And this film, he's just like, your son will know who his father was. And I'm like, oh, Maurice.
He'll know what Caesar did.
Yeah, and I'm like,
Jesus. All right, we're gonna.
I think we're gonna wrap it up.
We're gonna wrap it up here. So, final thoughts. Great movie. Please go watch it.
Support this film. Support Matt Reeves. This just makes me even more excited for the Batman.
Just to leave this on a cliffhanger. See, we can leave things on a cliffhanger.
Don't do it.
There might be a sequel got announced.
Okay, so that's the other thing. If
don't report on it.
No, I won't.
Just say it might be happening.
If you want a sequel, leave it in the comments. Whoever actually responds. We have 32 subscribers, so
yeah.
If you want to respond, tell us. Do you want an Ape sequel? Who knows? Personally, not really.
All right, Nick, what should they do next?
What they should do next is go to www.talkiesnetwork.com. Artur, what do we write there?
We write articles about movies, TV shows, animes, and video games.
And comic books.
Haha!
Oh-ho!
Make sure you like, comment, and subscribe. This if you're watching on YouTube. If you're watching on SoundCloud, just
like this post.
Just like the post, and
you can follow us on Twitter or Facebook. We'll link all the all the topics we talked about today below.
Yeah.
And that's it. We'll see you next week.
Bye, guys.
Later.